Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Come on in and join us. We're going to give just a second for everyone to come in. But while we are waiting, I do want to thank our replay viewers who might be joining us either via YouTube or via the replay right here in Buffy's Toolbox group. So thank you so much for coming in and checking us out. And don't forget, if you want to know whether or not you're here for the live broadcast or whether or not you're here on the replay, for those of you here in Buffy's Toolbox group, you would know that by whether or not there is a little red box up above my head that says live. If it doesn't say live, you're here on the replay. All right, so now that we have that all straightened out, today I want to talk to you all a little bit about some kind of direct sales facts, if you will. So I just got to thinking about some statistics and decided to look them up on the Direct Selling Association, and this was what I found. Good afternoon, Christine. Hello. All right, so in 2016, there were 20.5 million people involved in direct sales in the U.S. Okay. I was actually a little floored by that number. You just don't think about it being that many. Like, that just seems like a lot, doesn't it? Okay. But here's the thing. Of that total, hello, Vanessa. So of that total, of the 20.5 million people involved in direct sales in 2016, only 5.3 million are building independent businesses as direct sellers. Okay, so this means that they are actively working their business, they are maintaining a customer base, and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so only 5.3 million in the US are actually building a business. Okay, that breaks down even more. Only 800,000 of these people are doing this business full time. All right. So for those of you who do this business full time and you have people who are going, oh, I'd love to do what you do, but I just don't know that I could because, I have a full-time job and I have this. Listen, there are 15.2 million people who are not doing these businesses full time. All right. So it absolutely is possible for them to be able to be involved in direct sales, regardless of the fact that they have a full-time job. Okay. So 4.5 million of those people are part-time. I'm sorry. I just got really distracted. Okay. Y'all, real quick. Many of you have been praying for my husband and his job situation. Okay. He has a job opportunity. He's been offered the position. He is struggling with whether or not he takes it because it's less money, but the benefits are better and blah, blah, blah. And he's doing this whole back and forth thing. And all I saw was, can't we just go back to the days of me being a caveman? And I didn't get to read the rest of the text. So, sorry. That just really distracted me. Sorry. So, I'll have to go see what that text was about then, right? So just say some prayers for him because he's really struggling with this decision. I've already told him, that I support him both ways and have already told him what I think might be the best thing. But I also said, but if it turns out to be the wrong decision, I can't be held responsible. It's on you. And then I'm like, just kidding. Apparently he didn't like that. All right. So let's go back to this. So 4.5 million people are working direct sales part-time. Only 800,000 are doing it full-time, and the remainder of them, all right, so the 15.2 million people are simply in their businesses for the purpose of they like the products and they're there to get it at a discount. Okay. Does that just floor you guys? Because it truly did for me. Like, first off, to realize that only 800,000 people are working this as like their full-time job. That kind of floored me. And listen, we're not talking Premier peeps like that. We don't even have that many people selling Premier. Okay. But that's who's working this full time. All right. So there is so much opportunity for actual careers in this that it's not even funny, because what's going to eventually happen is those who are currently doing it just for a discount or doing it, just for whatever, at some point they will probably wind up falling off. And those who are working these businesses full time, they now have a better likelihood of being able to continue building those businesses. All right. I was also surprised, if you guys had to guess, what age range would you say is among the highest of direct sellers? So the age range of the people who are doing direct sales, what age range would you think would be among the highest percentage? Because, again, I was a little surprised by this. So tell me what age range you guys would think would be in the highest percentage. All right, she said 35 to 55. Well, here, let me just put it to you this way. The ranges are, as far as among the top three highest percentages, 25 to 34, 35 to 44, or 44 to 54. Which would you say is the highest? And I think we had, so 25 to 34, 35 to 44, or 44 to 54. I guess that should technically be 45 to 54. Okay. All right. So the highest percentage is actually 35 to 44 is the highest percentage. That is 26% of those indirect sales fall between the ages of 35 and 44. However, it is a close second and third with 23.3% are of the age group of 45 to 54, and 21.4% are the 25 to 34. Okay. So, but then I have another little statistic that might surprise you, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Also, of the people involved by gender. Okay. So a lot of people always, I've heard so many people say, oh, well, this is a woman's business. This is a woman's market, but it is a business for anybody. Okay. And so of the people involved in direct sales by gender, 74% of them are women, 26% of them are men. And the number or the percentage of men that are involved in direct sales has actually gone up in the last year. Okay. So I thought that was kind of cool. All right. Now, total sales. Hey, sweetie. Total sales for the year of 2016 from these 2.5 million people involved in direct sales was $35.54 billion in sales just last year. Okay. Listen, for anyone who is telling you, oh, direct sales is just, nah, it's not. Listen, direct sales is among one of the best business opportunities you can possibly get involved in. And as a total, it is one of the largest industries in the world. Okay. So when you have all these naysayers saying, I don't know why you're wasting your time with that silly old thing. Listen, it is not a silly old thing. Okay. It is not a silly old thing. All right. Yeah, no. Nope. All right. So then they also did a consumer attitude survey. And I was like, ooh, do I want to see this? I don't know if I want to see this. Because how often, ladies, how often do we feel like oh, we might just be bothering people, so maybe we just won't like say anything, and we just won't post anything, and we just won't da 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 da, because we don't want to be bothersome. And okay, so get this. So out of 1,583 adults that were surveyed, most of them were women, because direct sales is typically a woman's market. Okay. Over 50% said that they are highly likely to purchase from a direct seller in the next year. Okay. So they're already looking like, yeah, I'm already looking to be purchasing something from a direct seller in the next year. Okay. When asked why would people want to be involved in direct sales, it was flexibility of schedule. Okay, flexibility of schedule, long-term or supplemental income. And the third thing was just loving the product and wanting to share it with other people. Okay, so when asked why would people want to be involved in direct sales, those were the top three answers that were given. Also, this was surprising to me. Consumers are largely supportive of the use of social media by direct sellers. That one surprised me, because I'm constantly forever being told like, oh, people are going to get so tired of like seeing stuff about our businesses or our products or our this or our that. Now listen, I'm not telling you to go be spammy. Okay. I'm not telling you to be spammy. Get that understood. All right. Not spammy. But listen, they don't mind hearing from you. All right. They're okay hearing from you through social media. The other thing was that changes in technology and modes of communication, along with a higher interest in less traditional job opportunities, make the millennial generation very important to direct sales. Okay. Millennials are also more favorable toward direct sales than any other generation. So I want you to think about that for a minute, because if you go back to the highest percentage of, the age group, what that highest percentage is, that highest percentage was 26% is 35 to 44-year-olds. Yet millennials are more favorable toward direct sales companies and toward less traditional job opportunities. So why are they not more represented? Okay. So here's what I will say. I think part of the reason why millennials are not more represented in our direct sales companies is, first off, many times I feel like a lot of people tend to overlook millennials because they just assume they're not interested. Probably because when you look at who's currently involved in the direct sales, the majority of the people are between the ages of 25 and 54. So we're looking at that thinking, well, that's our target audience. Well, I mean, it's not to say that it shouldn't be, but we should also be focusing on those millennials because they are the next generation of our direct sales companies. Okay. They look more favorably on direct sales than any other generation, which means, and they're looking for less traditional job opportunities, but they also tend to want job opportunities where they have a chance to make a difference, where they have a chance to have a meaningful job, not just somewhere they go and punch a clock. Couple these things together. Why are we not talking to more millennials? That's all I'm going to say. Okay. It's right there. All right. So I'm going to encourage you to start talking to your millennials and making it a point to make sure that they know this is an amazing job opportunity. And y'all, especially with Premier, hello. I mean, like, how much more meaningful can you possibly get in terms of having a job that has purpose? plus one that is going to make you the most money for the least amount of time and all that kind of good stuff. Like, seriously? Like, come on. Okay. All right. Now I need to flip to another page because I underestimated how much paper I was going to need. So I had to flip to the next page. All right. Now, so this goes out to another little nugget that we should have is that 74% of the boomer generation, okay, want a flexible job for post-retirement. So again, we tend to focus on more of the people who like the stay-at-home mom and this and that. Well, when we're only focusing on the people who have young families, we're missing many of those millennials, and we're also missing those boomers who are looking for retirement options. Okay, so we have to start broadening our reach, which means you ladies also have to make sure that we know and understand how to be relatable to each and every one of these generations. And we have to show them how they can do this. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right. Now, I know I did see someone had said, and I know this is like, you know, everybody's always talking about, oh, everything's online now. We need online shopping. We need online shopping. Listen, I'm so thrilled about that online shopping. I can't even tell you. But I found this to be an interesting statistic. 68% of Americans still prefer to shop in person because they want to see, touch, try on, feel, etc. They want that personal shopping experience. 68%. Okay, so for those of you who are thinking, well, that's great that we're going to have this online thing and we can just do everything online. Everything's going to be online. You are going to miss out on about 68% of Americans if you do that. Because they're not going to do the online shopping. They don't want to do the online shopping. They want that in-person, person-to-person, okay? They want that shopping experience. That, to be very honest, that number blew me away because I feel like that's all anybody does anymore, okay? But that's not truly what they want. For some, they only do it that way because that's the only option that is given to them. As an example, they can't go shop the Amazon warehouse. So if they want to purchase something from Amazon, where do they have to purchase it from? They have to purchase it online. Okay. But if they truly had their choice, they would be going to the Amazon warehouse and looking through stuff to figure out what it is that they want because they want to be able to try it on and see it and touch it. Okay. So I want you ladies to understand that this whole online ordering thing and the Facebook shows and everything else, those are simply additional tools to be able to use in your business. But do not allow it to replace the in-home shows because I'm telling y'all that they still want it. 68% of Americans still want the in-person shopping experience versus online. Okay. So like Kim said, yes, cast your bread on many waters. Yes. Because here's the thing. You're going to have to be able to kind of like divvy that up a little bit, right? You're going to have to be able to kind of spread things out in different places. So use your social media. Use your Facebook shows. Use your in-home person-to-person shows. Use your vendor events. But don't just focus on just any one, okay? Because again, this also goes out to, for those of you who are only doing in-home shows, and you're not really doing much with Facebook or social media or things like that, you might have to step up your game a little bit there, okay? Because you have people to be reaching on social media just like you have people to be reaching person to person, okay? So I hope that is truly what I had for you today. I hope that that was of help to you and that perhaps I gave you some some different numbers maybe than what you were ever even thinking. If you ever even thought about this, I don't know. My brain works in weird ways, and sometimes the Lord says, hey, why don't you look this up? Okay, so I just, the way that I view it is just like Kim said, you want to be making sure that you're kind of spreading yourself out, putting a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. And that is going to allow you to have a very balanced business. That's going to prevent you from kind of putting all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. Okay, because here's the thing. If all you're willing to do is Facebook shows, you're going to miss out on 68% of the population. If all you're willing to do is in-home shows, then you're going to miss out on the other, 32% of the rest of the population. Okay, so you want to make sure that you are getting in everywhere. Just a little bit. Okay, love you too, girl. Listen, it was so good seeing you at Rally. So that's what I have for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to do my best to try and get this video and the one that we did 2 days ago up online. I wanted to let you know real quick too. Thanks, Kim. I do too. So yesterday I wasn't here because I had a lunch date that I thought would be over by 12:30, and I thought, well, I'll pop on by 1. That lunch date literally went from 11 o'clock in the morning to 3 p.m. before we left the restaurant. And then I got home and I literally had 30 minutes to get my house together as much as I needed to. Thankfully, I didn't have a ton to do because my girls stayed here and they cleaned up the house and started pulling the new jewelry out for me and everything else. But I had 2 ladies coming at 3:30 yesterday afternoon to check out the line. I left the restaurant at 2:50. It takes 20 minutes to get home. Needless to say, I didn't, I got here with like 20, maybe 30 minutes to spare to be able to get the rest of the stuff kind of sort of set up. And I didn't even really do much. Like, it was literally still in the boxes. And when the 2 gals came, one was one of my first level jewelers, and the other one is actually a customer of mine who is a former jeweler who lives across the street from my first level jeweler. So they carpooled together, came over to view the line, wound up getting over $100 in orders from my sweet friend Mel. So yeah, we just kind of had a blast playing in the new stuff. And then they didn't leave till like 5 o'clock. And then I was on the phone with my hubby because he had the job interview last night. And it was just like madhouse until I went to bed at 9 o'clock last night. And I was kind of like, oh my word. I didn't even get a chance to get on there and tell anybody anything. So it was just crazy. It was just crazy. So y'all like my earrings? Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah. Love those. Love those. Okay. So again, that's what I had for y'all. I know we don't really do like fashion and faith Fridays anymore, but I would still like to pray y'all out for the weekend. If you wouldn't mind joining me in a quick word of prayer, I would love to do that with y'all. So Lord, I just come to you today just thankful and just humble and always in awe of all that you are, all that you've done, all that you continue to do for us each and every day. And Lord, I just ask that you be with every single person who's watching this broadcast, whether it be live or on the replay. I just ask that you be with them, especially over this weekend if they're going to be traveling, if they're going to be visiting with people, sharing about the business opportunity that we have that is just so phenomenal. And Lord, we just thank you so very much for that opportunity as well. And I just ask that you bless them, that you just bless them so much, so incredibly much, that it is so much more than anything that they could have even expected, that there's no other way to explain it other than that it is you. And Lord, I just ask all these things in your precious name. Amen. All right, y'all. So thank you so very much. And I look forward to hopefully getting back on track to our 12:30 Monday through Friday starting next week. Also, if you can say some traveling prayers for my parents as well. They did purchase the house right back behind us. It's like behind us and down 2 houses. And that is just going to be a kind of weekend vacationing property for them for now before they can make it permanent full-time. But they will be traveling down this weekend, and I know they are calling for some yucky weather. So if y'all wouldn't mind just keeping them in your prayers for that as well, I would absolutely appreciate it. So I will see you guys on Monday. Much love to you all. I pray that you have a fabulous weekend, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.